Growing up, I was always very fascinated by the Asian community. I remember my mom telling me as a little kid, I'm talking about like maybe 2 or 3 years old, she said that I would change it to our local radio stations, and one of them being like this off station, I don't remember what it was, but they would, at certain hours of the day, they would play like different types of ethnic radio stations, and at this particular hour, I already knew that they were going to be playing Japanese, so I would change it to that station and I would just sit there completely fascinated and in awe of like these sounds that were coming out of like the speaker, and it was just Japanese. And my mom's like, what the hell's wrong with this kid? I don't know why this happened, but I naturally just gravitated towards Asian people. All my best friends were Asian. I probably had like a handful of like Latino, maybe a couple Russian and white friends here and there. I just saw that these are my friends, they're people, I'm people, cool, but it never really clicked in my mind that in the media they were like these, oh, let me do your math type of people. Like, I never saw that. So growing up in the household that I did, a lady was supposed to represent herself a certain way. So a lady was always supposed to have her hair done, her nails done, her face, like makeup done, her clothes were supposed to be ready to go. It didn't matter what the occasion was, if it was like a semi-fancy dinner or going to the supermarket, like you just needed to be ready for all sorts of events. If the house isn't done, then it's the lady's fault. If the dishes are dirty, it's the lady's fault. If the man's not happy, then it's the lady's fault. So it was like this constant judgment that I always felt like I needed to shut people up all the time. And then meeting Bart, it was actually quite the opposite, because if you saw the way he would dress and how he carried himself in public, it's like judgment did not exist in his world. I would look at him and I'm like, dude, you clearly don't give a fuck. And like, that must feel so refreshing, because I always gave a fuck. They're gonna judge me and they're gonna like think I'm like this hideous thing, or they're gonna think I'm like low class or whatever. But I remember looking at Bart, he did not give a shit. It's like what you saw is what you got. Because the outer part just did not matter. It's like what was in here that mattered to him the most, that I was like, that is awesome, I want to get there. I think he was like a catalyst to a lot of things. I think unintentionally he taught me how to be free.
Superman! Chinaman! Chinaman! Give me!
When I first started getting more acquainted with JustKiddingFilms and what Bart and Joe were trying to do, one of the things that I really noticed that they were constantly pushing was the fact that they had this passion, they had this stream in specifically in the arts, and their parents' traditional thinking basically pulled them away from that. So that was something that I felt that they were constantly preaching, that immediately connected with me, because I felt like I kind of grew up from a similar environment. Growing up, there was like this constant molding that was happening for me. It was like, okay, you go to school, you get your diploma, and then once you get your diploma, then you have to go to university school. Once you get your university diploma, then you have to start your career in the workforce, whatever that may be. Once you get that, you get married. Once you get married, you have kids, and then you start the cycle all over again. And I thought that was basically it. I never questioned it, I never thought it was wrong, because my oldest sister did it that way and it worked perfectly fine for her. She followed everything A through Z that my parents had set out for her, and it worked perfectly. So when I started getting more exposed to my friends and Bart that were kind of constantly challenging, I guess, the status quo that was like presented to them, they were constantly challenging that and asking, why is it this way? Why can't we do it this way? There's got to be an alternative. Like, we have to see things differently. That really started sparking, I don't know, something in me that I'm like, wait, why am I so comfortable where I'm at? Like, I'm doing everything that they want me to do, but there's got to be something that's a little bit more fulfilling. But I didn't understand why.
What's happening, hot stuff?
I remember watching 16 Candles, this really cool 80s movie, and they had like a foreign exchange student, this Japanese kid that this white family took in, and the way they represented that Asian dude, I was like, what the fuck? Asian people are geeky as fuck, because his hair was all slimy, and like he couldn't get any like hot chick. He had to get like the weird odd chick that nobody wanted. So it just showed me that Asians are super geeky and they have no game, they're completely desexualized, and they were kind of feminine in a way. So that's kind of what was exposed to me when Bart and Joe were like, yo, that's fucked up, that's not who we are, we get the fine ladies, we can like throw it down, you know, like we can act, we can be macho, we can be sexy. And I'm like, dude, that's right, that's fucked up. So I felt at that moment like, dude, something needs to change because that's really fucked up. So I came on board as like PR marketing, and once that was happening, then the company wheels just started rolling, and we needed more actors, and we needed more filmmakers, and we needed just a lot more of everything. So guess who became an actress? I did. I had never acted before. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was absolutely camera shy and mortified to be on camera, but I remember this one very specific moment where we had a collab with Timothy Delgado. I was just gonna be on set to be hands. I was gonna be behind camera. If they needed me to run and get something, I was gonna do that. His girlfriend bailed last minute. Tim looks at me and he's like, hey, you're gonna be in this video. And I'm like, oh shit, I've never acted before in my life. And once Bart and Joe see, oh shit, she's not that bad, let's start throwing her into more videos.
Hello there, I'm Homeless Bill. Hello there, I'm Dirty Fred. Oh, why didn't I get the memo that we was gonna have honorary guests?
Well, I had no idea we were gonna have company.
So for a long time we did a lot of stuff on tripods, so it's like a bunch of like stagnant images and you don't see much camera movement at all. We're like, damn it, like we want to create something really cool. How are we supposed to grow as artists and as a channel if our content looks so shitty? And it's like, alright guys, I think we need to find like an actual person to do all this camera work for us.
Now I reside in Hollywood, your girl call me Milk cause your boy did her body good. Yeah, she got the calcium, but she really couldn't tell cause her mouth be numb. She like, wah, 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 wah.
I came across this artist named Wax. So I'm like, oh shit, Wax is fucking ill. Like his lyrics are pretty on point, like he's funny in all his songs, like there's a lot of attitude and I like his sound a lot. So then I went into Wax's videos and I'm like, oh shit, like his videos look dope. Like they have like this really happy like yellow like honey tint to them that's like very warm, but it looks very lighthearted and happy. So I'm like, oh snaps, like who's this guy that's making their videos? Because I really like the quality of this video. And at the end credits, it would like tell you like everyone that was involved in the video, and it said directed by Chant. And I'm like, oh snaps, I gotta hit up this dude, Chant. I found him on Facebook. His like default pic was like, I think he was doing something like this or something. And he had like really scruffy like long hair. And he looked like this really young kid, and I'm like, what the hell? And he was Asian. And I'm like, oh shit, what a trip. Like this Asian dude did something that was non-Asian, because at this point, every Asian that I met was only doing stuff with other Asians. When I saw Casey doing stuff with non-Asians, I'm like, oh snap, that's dope. So I remember sending him a Facebook message. We're JustKiddingFilms, this is what we do, we make comedic shorts, and I would love to collaborate with you on something. And he was like, yeah, this is dope, alright, I'm down. And then he ended up shooting our Death Gangbang.
Break yourself.
I guess looking back at all the decisions that I was told I needed to make versus the decisions that I actually make, I'm actually very happy that I picked the route that I wanted, opposed to sticking to what my parents thought was correct for me. I'm really grateful that I was able to see that and put myself in situations and around people that were able to help me mold myself, and that were able to help me see that this mold that was presented to me that I didn't even know that I could break, that they helped me in seeing that I can break out of that, and that it's okay to do your own thing, and it's okay to stray away from whatever path was already set out for me. And yeah, it's hard, and it was scary at times, and financially sometimes I didn't know what was, you know, if I was gonna eat or pay the rent. Like it was a big risk on my part, but I think I'm just the most happy doing it the way I decided to do it. And that definitely built up my confidence. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of How We Met. It was truly an honor to share my story with you guys. While watching this episode, it actually helped me reflect upon my journey from where I started to where I began. And one of the biggest things that I learned from watching this video was no matter what the outcome may be, no matter what you think is gonna happen, whether it's good or bad, the most important thing that you should always do is keep moving forward. And that's something that when I was living in the moment, didn't really understand. I was just like, this is what I wanna do, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. And regardless of what happened, I'm just glad that I never stopped doing it, because then I wouldn't be here today. So if you guys would like to see Bart's story, go ahead and check it out over here. Be like, oh, why are you putting makeup on? You look fine, like nobody cares about what you look like. I'm like, no, I gotta do it, I gotta do it. And he kept at it for, I think, like maybe a good, like 2-3 years, to be honest. It took a long time. But it started very gradually. It was like, I'd wear a lot of makeup, even to the gym. And then it went to like less and less and less makeup, to now, 7 years later, I really don't give a fuck.